So, Bridge of Orchy to the Devil's Staircase. Here we go. Wish me luck. So this is day 5, Friday, and I just keep going. See you soon.
Grannoch Moor, a vast wilderness in the Scottish Highlands, boasts a rich history encompassing prehistoric settlements, clan conflicts, Jacobite risings, and the construction of the West Highland Railway. It has served as a place of refuge, a battleground, and a source of inspiration for artists and writers.
So, that's me in Rannoch Moor, I believe. Done just under 7 miles. We've got about 4 miles to go to the Devil's Staircase. I'm here with my new friend Mark. We've basically walked together all the way from Nogai, Bridge of Orchy. It's actually the difference it makes walking with someone, and you actually forget you're hiking sometimes because you're just so distracted. So it's been an absolute pleasure. I reckon so far this is probably the most exposed part.
I think so, we're right in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We're about to cut over the top of a ridge. So the wind's been on and off, but when it's on, it normally brings the drizzle, so it's cold and wet. But every step forward is a step closer, 1 foot in front of the other. Right, see you later.
Rannoch was a stronghold for various clans, including the Stuarts, who clashed with the Menzies family over land ownership. The area was strongly Jacobite, with local men participating in the Jacobite risings, including the 1689 rising after the Battle of Dunkeld. The village of Kinlochleven emerged after the 1745 rebellion, initially intended as a retirement area for redcoats.
So, that just happened. The weather has properly just closed in now, and the heavens opened up. So I finally decided it was wet enough to actually bother wearing my waterproof top and bottoms. I put them on the other day when I left the bothy, but I literally took them off within 5 minutes because it was too hot and it was actually just drizzling, and I think my body heat was drying off my clothes quicker than the rain was landing. So anyway, I'm about a mile from King's House Hotel, which means I've almost completed Rannoch Moor. I can see the Devil's Staircase in the distance, and Dukel Etiv Moor, or the Buckle. The rain's actually slowed down just a little bit, but I'm going to leave them on for a while. Just literally on my left is the Glencoe ski resort. I'm just coming down the trail, and I'll eventually cross the ski resort road and carry on the trail till I eventually come out near the Mountaineering Association hut, just at the start of the Devil's Staircase. Alright, see you in a bit. Sorry for the lack of videoing on this day. It's just been absolutely bucketing down all day. I really wanted to get my phone wet, so I'm doing my best. So I've just finished, you can't see it, but I've just finished doing Rannoch Moor, just completed Rannoch Moor, and just coming to the end of it now. Basically, the end of Rannoch Moor is King's House Hotel, so in the distance there is the trees. Just to the left there is Glencoe, and to the right of that is Devil's Staircase.
Now just a very quick bit of history on the King's House Hotel. It's located in Glencoe, Scotland, has a rich history dating back to the 18th century. It was originally built as one of Scotland's oldest licensed inns, serving as a stopover for travellers crossing Rannoch Moor and Glencoe. The hotel's location was strategically important, situated where a military road crossed the River Etted. So if you're ever doing Rannoch Moor, it's always worth a visit and a stop for a break.
Now tracking my second half of today's journey, after a short stop at the hotel, now I'm mentally preparing myself for the Devil's Staircase and the weather to come. As I reached this peak here, it was at this point the sun was now setting. So after this point forwards, I was basically hiking in the dark. And if you look very closely, you see I backtracked slightly as I'd lost my silent stick and had to retrack my steps. So, just about to start my approach towards the Devil's Staircase. Granted, there's another 2 miles to get to. Right in front of you, you can see in the distance. Having this extremely heavy to stop me from pulling away. So the Devil's Staircase. This section of the West Highland Way, which was originally the old military road, was constructed circa 1750 and linked Fort William with Stirling. Devil's Staircase applies to the engineered zigzags leading up onto the highest point on the route at 550 metres, 1,850 feet. Bridge time.
The name Devil's Staircase is believed to have originated with soldiers building military roads in the 18th century, who found the ascent arduous. Later, during the construction of the Blackwater Dam in the early 20th century, workers would frequent the King's House Hotel for drinks after work. The return journey, particularly on a cold night, was notoriously difficult, leading to the saying that the devil had claimed his own for those who didn't make it back.
Absolutely howling. So I'm halfway up the Devil's Staircase. I've got about another 200 odd metres to go, but literally going right over the top of the ridge and back down the other side. Hoping I'd follow around it, but nope, over the top. Over that, up and over, 550 metres.
By now you can see the light was fading. I was still near the top. I'd just been blown off the road into a river, which later on at the camp I would realise how non-waterproof equipment can be, no matter how well protected.
Crossed, little bit of cairn there which is marking, I'm hoping, the final ascent before I do my last descent down to Kinlochleven. Fingers crossed.
As it got dark, I could no longer film once again. I completed the rest of the way down with my headlamp, glow stick and a very wet bag. At the campsite it was nice to see the other hikers that had shared a spot near me at the Bridge of Orchy. I managed to catch the local chippy just before closing, which was desperately needed after today's hike. Let's just quickly recap this route. The tracking app was recorded in 2 stints due to my short break at the King's House Hotel. I did a total of 21.5 miles, including the highest point on the West Highland Way, the Devil's Staircase, at a height of 551 metres. The winds were horrific, but I was expecting the weather and I was prepared for it, with the exception of being blown into the river, of course. If my camera was waterproof, you may have gotten to watch me be blown into it. Other than the weather, I'd like to say that this was probably my most enjoyable part of the whole hike between Bridge of Orchy, including the Devil's Staircase. Coming up in the final episode, I will enjoy the home stretch, final part of the West Highland Way, 16 miles to Fort William, enjoying the dramatic landscapes, Ben Nevis and a stunning rainbow. Catch you in episode 6.